What, 30 seconds? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Going live in 10, 9, 8. What is up, all you Age of Mythology enthusiasts out there? My name is Hails to the Boit. It is April 22nd, and this is AoM 101 episode 2, Raring It Up. Woo! What I've got for you today is something a little bit special. We're going to be looking at some Ra play, but not that easy Ra play whereby we've got a Ra versus Thor player where we can just steamroll. This is the hard nut strategy where everybody struggles who plays Ra. Every single person I know struggles in these matchups. Ra versus Isis and Ra versus Uranus, right? Ra versus Isis, you have to fight someone who basically has the same bonuses as you, except also has a free army, right? And Ra versus Uranus, you don't have that prosperity which Isis has, so you can't pre-spam. So what do? You can't do exactly the same things to win those matchups. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at firstly we're going to be looking at the bonuses of Ra and why he's so good at these matchups, right? Why he's so good. And then we're going to be looking at the economy of Ra and how we can use that economy to our advantage in order to control the game. And then thirdly, we're going to look at how we're going to combine those two into a military advantage. Let me stop you. Let's jump into our first game. It's going to be the Ra versus Isis. It's going to be on High Hunt. Okay, oh fuck. I knew that was going to happen. That was just part of the thing, it was just going to happen. My bad, guys. Why is this such fail? Okay, we'll try again. Mark 2, take 2, recorded games. Okay, you're not going to crash. Good. So, we have none other than VK Sup, or Soup. I think it's Soup. It might be Sup. I don't know. Anyhow, as I said, we're going to look at the bonuses of Ra. And one of those bonuses is that his monuments are just so cheap. They're dirt cheap. You get your first age monument and your second age monument for approximately the same price as the second age monument, right? So we have to use that advantage to ourselves. While our opponent is using the advantage that he gets a free army over us, we have to use the advantage that we have so we can spend less resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to think, okay, we've got these monuments that we can build cheaply. How can we use that to our advantage to win a game, right? How can we use that to our advantage to win a game? So there's two ways. There's Sphinx and there's Scarabs, right? They both are very heavy food. So this sort of style of play, we have to say, okay, it's heavy food and it's monuments. Monuments are heavy food as well. When can we use the strategies? Well, obviously heavy food is going to have to be heavy hunt. Being able to use this strategy on low hunt are very different. It's going to be a lot less powerful because you have less resources to use, so you have to sort of think about it differently. And you can look at recorded games of low hunt maps and work it out. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be analysing this game and one other game of an Uranus player just to work through, and we're going to see what actually happens when we have high hunt and how strong this can be. Okay. So what we saw first, we saw 4 villagers move to the hunt. We got hunting dogs, I believe. Yes, we got hunting dogs.
Thank you.
And now the gold been taken. You've got 2 villagers to the gold, and the 3rd villager coming over here. He's going to be building that monument as soon as he has that 36 gold, 37 gold. I think it's 37 gold. And then continuing from there. He's now throwing this villager onto the wood. Now, why do we need wood if we want lots of food, right? We want and lots of gold, but we want the wood to get the pickaxe and the husbandry so we can get more food and more gold, basically. That's why he's sending that there. Further to the point, we're also going to be needing the wood later in the game when we need slingers and chariots for our army. So, but that's a little bit forward thinking there. The main reason is because of that pickaxe. Continuing along here, so the benchmark we have to set there was 5 villages to food, 2 villages to gold, and 2 villages to wood. That's like the benchmark. That's what we have to get before we go to our next step in our build order. It's all about steps build orders. I said this last time I did an analysis. It's all about steps, getting through the steps and seeing like where it's okay to sort of modify and get through and whatnot. So again, he's now sending villages purely to, looks like purely to food. I know he's sending over to gold now. So he does have these 6 villages on the food, and now he's also got the monument. So what we have to be aware of now is he's got this monument. How can we get the next monument? All right, we have to get to that stage. This monument pops up. Now we need to get to that stage. The monument, the second monument, we need that 72 gold and 72 food. I believe that's what it is. So that's our next stage. He's got 3 villages on gold. They're not exactly mining perfectly, but whatever. But he also now has the gold to build that monument, and that's what he's going to do. He goes down that monument. So now the next step is, what do we need now? Do we need to advance really fast? Do we need to drop another monument and advance a bit slower? Let's see how he goes and achieves what he wants to do. And why he's building that house. Interesting. Okay. So at the moment, he's going to throw up the temple before the 3rd monument. So that's a little bit important. He's doing this because he possibly wants to advance before he throws down his 3rd monument. And that means he's not going to slow down his advance time, but he's also going to get a monument, that 3rd monument, to be getting all of those favor for those myth units. At the moment, it looks like he has 8 villages on the food, 5 villages on gold, and 2 villages on wood. So we can call this another checkpoint. We have to get to 8 villages on the food, and we have to get to 5 villages on the gold. And that's going to be our next checkpoint in this build order. We currently have our 400 food, so we can advance. We're going to see that happening. The Ra player does move out, and it's obvious Ra does have rain, but it's obvious he doesn't want to be spamming farms with only 6 villages on gold. You need roughly 9 villages on gold. That's a standard to start fast farming in the arcade age. So he's only got 6, so he's obviously going to be using all the hunt he can, as there is a lot of it. We're going to see that 3rd monument getting thrown down as soon as possible. If he does choose to do so, he might not choose to do so. Looks like he's only going to go for 2 monuments. Okay. Now, why is he only going for 2 monuments and not 3 monuments? It looks like he wants those resources extra to go to the heroic age a little bit faster. He's not going to commit purely to the classical fight, even though he is throwing down a barracks, because he is building this armory and he is empowering it. So he wants to advance to the heroic age relatively fast while putting on this pressure with these things. Okay, so the first thing to note now. Last time I did this episode of the first episode, I purely focused on economy. But however, I want you guys to go out and you know how to focus on the economy and learn the build orders by watching the last video. What you need to do now is work out, okay, this matchup is hard. We have to be specific with how we use our units. So it's going to be important to work out how to put the Ra player at an advantage in this matchup, and that is going to have to be through military, not through economy. But I just want to note quickly, economic-wise, he is streaming villages straight to food. He hasn't put any villages on any of the other resources apart from food. So that's something you can take from there at the moment. Okay, so what is he going to use these Cryo-Sphinx for? He did upgrade the Cryo-Sphinx. That does make them a lot more powerful. So what's he going to use these Cryo-Sphinx for? Well, there's this hunt here. We need to push this off hunt. We don't want our enemy ISIS player to be gathering as much resources as possible, because we had that advantage with all of these early barracks. We threw a barracks down, we threw a temple down. The standard for ISIS is to just go straight to the royal cage. So we have all of these units, and we even have heroic age going up as soon as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to push through here. We're going to push through with these 2 Sphinx, a priest, and a couple of slings, right? That's important for the reason that these priests and this slinger can pick off either the other priest or the Sphinx. We don't want the priest dealing a lot of damage to our Sphinx, because It's just not what we want. Okay, so what he's done successfully
And
is he's pushed off hunt. He did that at about the 7-minute mark, so that's a little standard there. You have to scout, you have to find where his hunt is. So that's what we go for first. So just to reiterate, we go for the hunt first. What now? We pushed off hunt. Okay, what do we have to focus on now? Well, we know the ISIS player is going to the roller cage because he's a similar score to us, we're going to the roller cage. So we can pretty much safely assume that he has already clicked that eject button. So what we have to note is, well, this gold mine here is going to be extinguished extremely fast, especially with prosperity. So where can he go? Where can he go? He's got this gold mine and he's got this gold mine. We have to scout. Now, I really don't like that they spent all this time taking out this granary. I would love to see two of these slingers move over here, or one of these slingers move over here, one of these slingers move over here, and then find where the gold mines are, and keep an eye on them and see what is actually going on, because that is the next step, preventing a migdol from going up. And if you can do that successfully, hopefully they'll use Ancestors Eclipse, and now you're at an advantage because you have the economic advantage and their army advantage has been nullified. That is what we're aiming to do here. Now it looks like these Sphinx are going to run over here. They have just upgraded to higher cross Sphinx, so they are faster now, they're more powerful as well, so they're going to be able to do a lot of damage to the migdol if it goes up. So what's he doing here? Somehow he knows that there is a migdol popping up right here. He moves over, and that's lucky for him. So he's going to be doing as much damage as possible. He's going to be able to cast Locust here, and that's going to prevent this migdol from going up. So, what's he done? Okay, what has VK Sup done, which is really smart? Preventing this migdol from going up with Locust. Okay, I just want to move away from it because that buzz is going to annoy the shit out of me. That Locust prevents the migdol from going up. Those Sphinx prevent any sort of aggression. And also he can't really cast Ancestors Eclipse there because it's a waste. So what's going to happen is, for 25 seconds of this Locust, or however long Locust actually goes for, that migdol is not going to be complete. So that's army that his enemy is not getting, an army we can get ourselves, get even further ahead, and punish an Ancestors Eclipse, which is going to be cast. So I'm going to continue along just to see exactly what does happen. We're going to play fast for a little bit, just to continue going through here. So now that we see that this migdol, the 25 seconds has happened, we're going to cast, there we go, that's the next step, right? We really want to keep their army down. We don't want them, while we want them to waste Ancestors Eclipse, the main purpose here is to prevent Ancestors Eclipse for as long as possible so we have as a bigger army as possible and keep their army as low as possible, right? So if we can do that, by preventing this migdol from going up, then we're at a win, right? We're at a win, we're ahead, and we're doing really well. So what's going to happen is, we're going to have to pick off all of these priests and pharaoh to take out this location here. A couple of these Sphinx are quite low on health, but we don't really care if we lose one, we're just going to retreat now. We've taken out the migdol, we should retreat. Okay, so, we take out the migdol. What we do is we retreat. We get a win. We don't want to waste our win by losing our units. We kill the migdol, we get out of there. So that's the next step, alright? So obviously these units are quite safe in attacking, that's why he's attacking. He's now just going to pull back. Extremely smart play. When you do damage, you don't want to neglect that damage you've done by taking damage yourself, if that makes sense. When you're ahead, get more ahead, as Artosis would say. For those who don't know who Artosis is, look him up. Okay, upgrades. Just going to point out he does only have the archaic upgrades. He did get hand axe, that's going to make his slingers pop out a lot more fast. So, yeah. Okay, he has also thrown down the migdol and he is pumping out cavalry. So that's the unit composition he's going for. At the moment he's going for slingers and cavalry. Also he's a bit house supply blocked, but you know, that's okay. Okay, so what is now our option now? Okay, we're sitting at 94 supply, our 95 supply, let's just say 95. Our goal now in the game, we always have to have goals. We prevented this migdol from going up, but he still has Ancestors Eclipse. So we don't want to let him get to max supply, Ancestors Eclipse, and punish us quite drastically. So what we need to get, we need to continually prevent him from getting up supply. We have to keep an